If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out.
Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is December the 23rd, 2021, and today the topic is Holy Spirit confirmation. Y'all, well, I hope that you all had a good day yesterday. Mine went fine. I did all my tasks at hand. I worked with my acting students. I hosted from home. I worked out, I did my, that's why y'all see me in Studio A, right? Because I did film an episode of GSL, the talk show, as well. And so, yeah, man, it's gotta be the glory for all things, man. I don't know. Again, I just have time to reflect on the year and everything that has been taking place, and the things that I have in the works, and I'm excited. So, so I hope you guys had a good day yesterday as well. And, well, here we are on this Thursday. Speaking of Thursday, just a reminder, there will not be an episode of God, Sex, and Love, the talk show tomorrow. We're taking a little break. I do intend to do the juice. I intend to keep the juice going throughout the holiday season, but there will not be an episode of GSL, the talk show. So if you guys want to, you can check out all of the episodes that we currently have. Yes, they are available on YouTube. All of them are available there. Some are available on Facebook as well. It was giving us some issues, so I've stopped uploading on Facebook, but so that's something to be on the lookout for, or just to be aware of, and everything like that. So this Friday and next Friday, no talk show. But anywho, so let's get into the juice this morning. So basically, I did my prayer meditation, and it was really good because it got me to really, really be intentional about staying focused and all of that. Because the guide or the voice guide or whatever the case is, kind of said that as part of the instructions, like, try to stay focused, whatnot. And I'm like, okay. So it was good to listen and reflect and stay focused in that moment for to everything that it was saying. And it had me reflecting on I believe it's Simon, and how when he saw Jesus, he had the confirmation he needed. Like, Jesus didn't have to do nothing. Jesus was just a baby, but he just knew, right? He just knew, and everything like that, because God had made him a promise that basically he wasn't going to pass until he saw the salvation or whatnot. And so he saw the baby Jesus, and that's all he needed. And I mean, I guess as I was listening to that and as I was reflecting on it, the word confirmation came into my mind. And so after I finished up with the prayer meditation, I started looking up verses centered around confirmation. Now, the interesting thing about that is, like, the first few verses I was reading that was centered around confirmation, I kept seeing Holy Spirit. So once I saw it the third time, I just was like, okay, I'm going to start looking up verses centered around the Holy Spirit. As soon as I saw those verses, they resonated with me. And here we are with today's topic of Holy Spirit confirmation. So now on one hand, right, I can say, just when I just think about confirmation, when it came to my mind this morning, I can say that I definitely appreciate confirmation, right? I appreciate, knowing and getting that bit of, I don't know another way to say it other than confirmation. Getting that little bit of encouragement. Maybe that's one way to say it as well. Again, I get that with people that follow me throughout this journey. People that like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. I mean, the person who's watching me live, good morning. You know what I'm saying? That's confirmation to me, that I guess I should keep going in the things that I feel like God's leading me to do, right? When you see things work out, that's confirmation sometimes. And I could appreciate those things. Now, I know we got to be careful, right, about signs and confirmations. But that's a whole nother conversation. So I guess I won't go too deep into that. But so yeah, again, the first thing that I thought about was that when the word confirmation came into my mind, that's the first thing I thought about. But as I started reading the verses and I noticed Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, this is what I came across today. And so this we'll see what the Lord gonna do. So John 14:26, it says, "But the Helper, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he will teach you all things said and bring to you your remembrance all that I have said to you." So, now, if I just paraphrase this and just give a little summary of this, it seems to me that Jesus is saying that, God is going to send us the Holy Spirit as confirmation. Now, one of my first thoughts when I came across Holy Spirit and when I started to write these verses down and everything like that was that now maybe I'm just talking about my perspective, so I guess I can only talk about me. But it just seems like we don't put much focus on the Holy Spirit, right? We think about God the Father, and then there's those of us that acknowledge Jesus as the Son. But then when we know that the Holy Spirit is also a part of that Trinity, but at the same time, I feel like I just don't hear much about the Holy Spirit. Maybe that's just me, I hear some things. I'm not saying I don't hear anything at all, but what I'm saying is like, people focus more so on the Father, right? Or focus more so on the Son, and then you just don't hear much about it. And I don't know. Y'all can tell me, if y'all hear more about it and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, the interesting thing is the Holy Spirit, according to Jesus, is going to be, is with us, right? It's part of us. So, how can we say, Lord? How you want me to say? In a way, it's like we're interacting with this every day, right? And all day, depending on, I guess, where your heart is and whatnot, and if you're able to receive and whatnot. I know some people feel like that's their conscience, and everything like that. People have other ways to, I guess, explain what that could be. But, according to the Bible, we recognize that as the Holy Spirit, doing what this verse here says, teaching us all things said and bringing to the remembrance that everything that Jesus said, basically. So, I don't know, something to think about today, with that first verse. Now, the second verse I came across this morning that I felt led to share, it was Romans 8:26. It says, "Likewise, the Spirit helps us in our weakness, for we do not know what to pray for as we ought, but the Spirit himself intercedes for us with groanings too deep for words." Now, obviously, I believe that this is talking about, speaking in tongues and everything like that. I know that's controversial. Some people feel like you have to do it. Some people feel like you don't have to do it. I was one of those people that, I think I've shared my testimony and story about it before, so I won't get too deep into it. I was someone that always acknowledged it because I guess I was around it, and around people that would do it. But I don't recall playing around with it, or anything like that. As a child and stuff like that, I knew that it was the serious thing, but I didn't necessarily feel, the need to do it. And then until I got in my adult life and I met this individual that, kind of encouraged me to build that gift, and eventually I did, I guess, receive the gift. Like once I sought and started seeking for the gift of speaking in tongues, I received it. And I do see the benefits. Like sometimes, every now and then I may pray in that way. And I feel, as they say, edified by that, because like the word here says, like sometimes you just don't know what to pray, right? There's so many things to say that those things it helps to pray in that way. So that's just one way, I guess, the Holy Spirit is, confirming things or whatnot. But I don't know. That verse stood out to me this morning, so I felt led to share. Isaiah 11:2, it says, "And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge, and the fear of the Lord." Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's giving us a lot there, and that's what I'm saying about us not acknowledging it as much as we acknowledge the other parts of God, right? But because this is where, the wisdom comes from. This is what it says: the wisdom, the understanding, the counsel, the might, the spirit of knowledge, and the fear of the Lord all comes from, to have, I guess, having the Holy Spirit, so, something to think about. Just something to think about. That's all I'm saying. One more verse I want to share is Ephesians 1:13. It says, "In him you also, when you heard the word of truth, the gospel of your salvation, and believe in him, were sealed with the promised Holy Spirit." So again, I mean, this seems like it's something that we have to receive. This is something, and you have to, hear the word, believe it, and then you'll be sealed with the confirmation of the Holy Spirit. So, if you're looking for some type of confirmation today, maybe if you're in a place where you're like, I need for God to speak to me. I need for God to show me the way or something like that. And if you find yourself, I would say, listening to the sound of my voice today, talking about Holy Spirit confirmation, then that's what you need, friend. This is what you need to do. Now that you've heard the word of truth, right, from the Bible, you need to believe it. And then that's when you're going to receive the promised Holy Spirit. And through that Holy Spirit, like I said in the previous verse here, what this verse is telling us is that the Holy Spirit is going to give us the wisdom, understanding, counsel, might of the Spirit, knowledge, and the fear of the Lord. So I hope that encourages you and inspires you today, because that's the juice, y'all. That is the juice. The Bible verse of today is Matthew 2:10 through 11. It says, "When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.
Everyone is stuck at home, but life is still happening around us every day. Birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, and celebrations. Send your friends and family the gift of wine from the comforts of home. Wine shop at home with Miracle of Wine. Wine, gift baskets, wine accessories, and more at miracleofwine.com.